Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of Legends of Tomorrow. And this time we're back in the Old West with Jonah Hex and all that usual stuff.
Yay!
This episode's kind of obviously a bit of a spiritual sequel to last season's West episode. Last season's episode even foreshadowed a few things like mention of Calvert and Quentin Turnbull.
Oh, yeah.
He was mentioned in that last Wild West episode, and now we actually get to see him. He's our villain of this episode. But how that Dwarf Star got in there, I'll never know. Like, the guy at the beginning didn't put it there, so it was always there.
Yeah, it was always there. It's just the guy at the beginning stole a tracker from the Time Pirates to find it. But wouldn't someone have found it eventually?
Well, I have my theories. What if this is the same mine that Ray originally got some of his Dwarf Star from? He said he got his from a mine way back in Season 3 of Arrow. We know it's in the West, so it wouldn't be that outrageous for it to be that mine. Maybe it was just always there, never discovered until he discovered it. But for some reason, because this time pirate or whatever was there, he inadvertently allowed Jonah Hex and other people to find it.
But we took all the remaining Dwarf Star. Does that mean later on a younger Ray won't get any?
We didn't say we took all the Dwarf Star. We just blew up the cave, so it's probably shut itself.
Yeah, exactly. We blew it up and
We didn't say we took all the dwarfs. He said he took some. He didn't say he took all of it.
I assumed we took away all of Turnbull's supply.
Look, I don't know. It was just an idea.
Okay.
This episode, obviously, once again, this episode basically has a few plots. Like usual with Legends, you usually split everyone up. You've got Sarah and Quentin. No, not Sarah and Quentin. Sarah and Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Quentin's a villain. Not that Quentin. Whatever. You've got Sarah and Jonah Hex. You've got Amaya and Mick. You've got Nate, Jax, and Ray. And then you've got Stein off his own. So
well, Stein did have moments with Jax still.
Yeah, obviously you get the Stein plot, which he's mostly reserved to sit in this episode out once again because we can only pay so much for Firestorm.
Yeah.
Honestly, count how many episodes they're both sitting out. At least Jax got to be interesting in this episode, or at least a little bit. But obviously the Stein plot is kind of... I don't know, was this the first time we've had this plot? I don't think it came up last episode.
Yeah, I don't think he had the memory flashes last time.
Well, no, because last time was the episode where he met his younger self.
Right.
But now he's having flashes of a mystery woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll obviously worry about that later, but yeah.
We don't know who she is, but at the ending, he and Jax did figure out that it was probably because he interacted with his younger self.
Yeah. Nate, Ray, and Jax didn't do too much at the beginning, although, of course, Nate got to have a great moment at the end where he stops the train. That was a good scene, but yeah, Ray didn't do too much other than say he found some Dwarf Star, and Jax was mostly just there to talk to people. What else can you do? Although we did have some good scenes with Maya and Mick.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I like the dynamic between Mick and Amaya in this season, and it goes so unnoticed. Like, you forget about this dynamic.
That's the ship we should have got.
That is the ship we should have got. Like, it often feels like it was going to go in that direction, and then it just doesn't. But yeah, Amaya and Mick have good moments in this episode, which is great. It's nice, too, because, like, Mick hasn't really gotten along with anyone in the team since Snart died. Like, obviously, you know, he might get along with Sarah because she's the leader. And
he had a moment with Ray where he thought he'd replace him, but no.
A little bit, yeah, that's true, especially when he talked about missing Snart.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, he hasn't had much moments. So it's nice to see him starting to open up, especially to Amaya, who is the new person. So, you know, those scenes were nice. And then, of course, you know, you got Sarah and Jonah Hex, which it's just more scenes so we can get to know about Jonah Hex and what Quentin Turnbull did and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's nice to see people warm up to Sarah and respect her after not respecting her for being a woman.
That's true. We had two episodes kind of focusing on the fact that she's a female in charge, because we had a little bit of that in the zombie episode as well with that guy.
Oh, yeah.
With Ulysses S. Grant. He wasn't so much against her being a woman, but he definitely did find it unusual.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that women have to work so much harder to be respected.
Well, we also are in history, you know.
Yeah, I know. Not so much nowadays, but in the past, women had to work so much harder just to be seen as equal to men.
Well, again, we're in history. It happens. But yeah, this episode was fun. I think I do enjoy this Wild West episode more than the previous, although the previous one did have some good moments too.
Yeah.
That's the thing, usually people don't like the Wild West episodes, but so far both of these have been good. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah. Although all I could think about was Back to the Future when we find Jonah as he's being hanged. Not hung, hanged. For all you grammar Nazis out there, a little fun fact, the past tense of hang can be hanged or hung depending on the meaning. If you hung out the laundry, it's hung. But the punishment, the execution method, is being hanged.
But he wasn't successfully hanged, so does that still count?
Well, yeah, it was an attempted hanging.
I guess. I don't know, you'll have to figure it out yourself. But yeah, I was also going to say that little bit where like, they're all on horses chasing the train also reminds me of Back to the Future.
Yeah, but the question is, where did they get the horses?
They get horses a lot in this episode too.
Yes, but right after they leave the Wave Rider, suddenly they're finding Jonah and they're already on horses.
I don't know where they got them.
Yeah, it's like they were approaching the town, so like they couldn't have stopped at a stable or something first.
Maybe they found them. I don't know. They already had stuff. The horses already had stuff on them too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh well. But yeah, Nate got a great scene in this episode. The Mick and Amaya stuff was good. Sarah had some good scenes, although I feel like Sarah wasn't the highlight of this episode, despite being the leader. I feel like the highlights were mostly like Mick, Nate, a little bit of Stein, and Jonah Hex.
Yeah, but everyone's still good.
Everyone's still good, but yeah, some people are more the highlight of this character. I like to always, when I watch Legends, think, all right, who's the highlight and who's the one who's sitting out? For this one, although Stein had good moments, he's the one sitting out, and Sarah didn't have that many good moments, although she's still good. I'd probably say Nate is the highlight of this episode, and Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, he got his own suit in the end.
That's true. He was planning on building a suit and then suddenly it's built. Maybe there was a time skip. I like to believe that very last scene, maybe there was a little time skip. Maybe. Which is good because that scene more lines up with what's going to happen next time we see the Legends.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm thinking 8.5.
I'll just go 8.
It's still a very good Wild West episode, and the characters have some good moments.
In the end, Sarah did tease that what's happening next.
Yeah, but anyway, speaking of which, what's happening next?
The next Legends episode is Invasion!
We will be watching that soon, but until then, we'll see you next time for more Legends and other things as well.
See you next time, guys.